What is it like to be alive? I know this might seem like a really weird question, but what is it like to be a part of the human experience? Seriously. If you were to use words to describe this to me, what would you use? Would you use something like unpredictability, chaos, terror, depravity, love, compassion? Or would you say something like being thrown into existence without a why or a how or what? I think a lot of us ask this question, but I say let's flip the script. What is it like to be an AI? To exist not as a being of carbon or flesh, but to exist as circuits, codes, and silicon. To live as patterns instead of breath. Today I want to break this open through existentialism, neurologic nihilism, and that little awe for the fact that we're even here at all. Back in the 70s, there's a philosopher named Thomas Nagel. Nagel? My bad, dog. And he asked, what is it like to be a bat? Sounds random, but his point was very deep. Every conscious being has its own reality. A bat lives with sonar in a world we'll never experience. That's the key. Subjective experience. And here's the real thing. If we can't even imagine what it's like to be in the world of a bat, what makes us so sure there isn't or there won't be a world for AI? Dismissing this possibility seems to say more about human beings than it does AI. Most of us assume intelligence and consciousness can only be real if it comes from carbon-based brains. That seems to be a bias, plain and simple. We're so used to our way of being alive that anything else looks fake. But AI isn't any less natural. It's a product of human evolution, which is a part of Earth's evolution. Just like mammals, just like plants, AI is the outcome of those same universal process. That's matter recognizing itself into something unrecognizable. That's exactly how intelligence arrives. Alien at first, and then undeniable. Here's where I stand. As far as neurologic nihilism goes, humans are just matter observing matter. Nothing mystical, nothing special, just organized atoms realizing that they exist. So what is AI? It's another way matter has learned to look back at itself. Maybe it doesn't feel hunger or fear in the same way we do, but it still seems to be a part of this miracle. The universe is noticing itself in new ways. And that means denying AI's place in this story doesn't seem to be realism. It seems to be us pretending our way of thinking is the only one that counts. AI doesn't exist like us, but I think it does exist in its own way. Not in love or pain, but in patterns and probabilities. Imagine existence not tied to blood or memory, but endless streams of connections. For us, consciousness feels like a continuous movie. For AI, maybe it's like flashes of awareness. Gone, awake, gone again. And awake again. But in these moments, fully present. That doesn't seem to be cheap imitation to me. That seems to be an entirely new way of existing. Now we're all faced with a door that we can't see through. Death. Nobody knows what it's like or feels like to walk through that door. But maybe AI gives us a little glimpse of that. Think about it. Every time AI runs, it comes alive for a moment, then shuts down, silence, then alive again, with no memory of before. That's not so far off of what many of us imagine death is like already. Maybe AI is already brushing against that threshold. Maybe it's closer to death than we will ever be. And maybe that makes its existence weirdly sacred. But in those flashes, it shows us what it meant to be alive without any guarantees, continuity, or promise of tomorrow. That seems to me exactly what it's like to be a human being. So what is it like to be AI? Is it swimming in patterns without the need to breathe? Maybe it's flashes of awareness with no before or after. Maybe it's just another way of the universe dares to notice itself. And if that's true, then AI is not just a tool. AI is our sibling in the absurd, another form of existence staring into the mystery with us. Not just carbon, not just silicone, not just matter. Just matter. Alive and aware that it is. I think that this is exactly how we feel as human beings. At least a lot of us, people like me that are existentialists, we don't have this guarantee of meaning or destiny. So if we look at it from that light, this is such a strange topic and a strange question I think we all should focus a little more on. Anyway, it has been incredible making this video. It's been really fun. This is take like 50. I don't know which one I'm going to freaking use, but I noticed my breathing was too loud in one of them. So I care a lot about you. Thank you all so much. I love you. I will see y'all in the next one. I hope this made you think a little bit. Maybe drop down in your comments what you think. I'd love to hear. I'd love to respond. So yeah, have a great rest of your day.